Here are stories about three powerful gods. Apollo. Apollo was one of the most revered of all the Greek gods. He was the son of Zeus and Leto and was born on the island of Delos. From a young age, Apollo displayed immense talent and skill, and he was soon regarded as the god of music, poetry, prophecy, and healing. Apollo's talents were legendary, and he was beloved by all who knew him. He was known for his beautiful singing voice, his skill on the lyre, and his ability to inspire creativity in those around him. He was also a skilled archer and was said to be able to shoot arrows with pinpoint accuracy. As he grew older, Apollo became known for his prophetic abilities. He was consulted by kings and leaders from all over the world who sought his guidance and wisdom. He was also renowned for his ability to heal the sick and wounded, and his temples were places of refuge and solace for those in need. However, Apollo was not without his faults. He was known for his quick temper and was said to be easily offended. He could be vindictive at times, and those who crossed him often found themselves on the receiving end of his wrath. One of the most famous stories about Apollo is the tale of his love for Daphne. Daphne was a beautiful nymph who was known for her skill in hunting. When Apollo saw her, he was immediately smitten and began to pursue her relentlessly. However, Daphne did not return his affections and, in fact, was repulsed by his advances. In a moment of desperation, Daphne called out to her father, the river god Peneus, for help. Peneus heard her cries and transformed her into a laurel tree, which became sacred to Apollo. From that day on, Apollo wore a wreath of laurel leaves on his head as a symbol of his love for Daphne. Despite his flaws, Apollo remained a beloved and revered figure among the Greeks. His temples and shrines were some of the most magnificent in the world, and his influence could be felt in all aspects of life, from music and art to medicine and healing. In the end, Apollo was more than just a god. He was a symbol of all that was good and noble in the human spirit. He embodied the values of creativity, wisdom, and compassion, and his legacy would endure for centuries to come. Ares. Ares, also known as Mars in Roman mythology, was the god of war and one of the 12 Olympian gods. He was the son of Zeus and Hera and was known for his fierce and violent nature. As the god of war, Ares was revered by soldiers and warriors, who looked to him for strength and guidance in battle. He was said to be the embodiment of courage and bravery, and his presence on the battlefield was said to inspire his followers to fight with valor and honor. However, Ares was not without his faults. He was often portrayed as a hot-headed and impulsive deity, prone to fits of anger and violence. He was known to pick fights and to engage in reckless behavior, often causing chaos and destruction wherever he went. One of the most famous stories about Ares involves his affair with Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Ares and Aphrodite began a secret affair behind the back of her husband, Hephaestus. When Hephaestus found out about the affair, he constructed an invisible net and trapped the two lovers in the act. The other gods were outraged at Ares and Aphrodite's behavior and were eager to punish them for their transgressions. However, Zeus intervened, and the couple was allowed to go free. Despite his flaws, Ares remained a revered figure among the Greeks. His temples and shrines were some of the most magnificent in the world, and his influence could be felt in all aspects of life, from politics and government to philosophy and art. In modern times, the symbol of Ares, the ram, is still used to represent the qualities of courage, strength, and leadership. Those born under the sign of Ares are said to possess these same qualities, as well as a fiery and passionate spirit. In the end, Ares was more than just a god of war. He was a symbol of the human desire for strength and power. He embodied the values of courage and determination, and his legacy would endure for centuries to come. Poseidon. Poseidon, the god of the sea, was one of the most powerful and influential of all the Olympian gods. His story is one of great power and passion, of triumph and tragedy, of love and betrayal. Poseidon was the son of Cronus and Rhea, and was one of the 12 Olympian gods. He was the brother of Zeus and Hades, and was often referred to as the Earth Shaker, due to his ability to create massive earthquakes and tidal waves. Poseidon was known for his fierce and often unpredictable nature. He was revered by sailors and fishermen, who looked to him for protection and guidance on the treacherous seas. He was also associated with horses, and was said to be able to control them with ease. One of the most famous stories about Poseidon involves his rivalry with Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Both Poseidon and Athena were vying for control of the city of Athens, and each claimed to be the rightful owner. In order to settle the dispute, the two gods agreed to a contest, with the winner being the one who could provide the city with the most useful gift. Poseidon struck his trident against the ground, creating a massive spring of water that he claimed would provide the city with a never-ending source of water. However, Athena outsmarted Poseidon by presenting the city with an olive tree, which provided not only food but also oil for lamps and other useful items. Despite this setback, Poseidon remained a powerful and influential figure in Greek mythology. His temples and shrines were some of the most magnificent in the world, and his influence could be felt in all aspects of life, from trade and commerce to warfare and politics. However, Poseidon was not without his faults. He was known for his volatile temper, and was often quick to anger. He could be vindictive at times, and those who crossed him often found themselves on the receiving end of his wrath. One of the most tragic stories involving Poseidon involves his love for Demeter, the goddess of agriculture. Poseidon fell in love with Demeter and pursued her relentlessly, but she rebuffed his advances at every turn. In a moment of desperation, Poseidon raped Demeter, causing her great shame and anger. She fled to the city of Eleusis, where she refused to return until Zeus punished Poseidon for his actions. Despite his flaws, Poseidon remained a beloved and revered figure among the Greeks. His legacy would endure for centuries to come, and his influence could be felt in all aspects of life, from art and literature to science and philosophy. In modern times, Poseidon is still revered as a symbol of strength and power. His image can be found on countless works of art and literature, and his influence can be felt in popular culture around the world. In the end, Poseidon was more than just a god of the sea. He was a symbol of the human desire for power and control. He embodied the values of strength and determination, and his story will continue to inspire and captivate us for generations to come.